Well, Joe, we're here to talk about Apprenticeship Week.
Yeah, National Apprenticeship Week is upon us, 2022.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Lots of exciting events next week.
What have we got on?
We've got the business breakfast on a Tuesday, so that's 7:30 events at the college. So that's going to be really exciting to see loads of businesses networking and hear about training opportunities and what apprenticeships hold for them.
Brilliant.
And then what else do we have?
We've got the Parents' Evening, which is kind of the open evening really for students and parents to come along to the college. It's Wednesday in Emma's house, so that would be good to speak to those people that want to get into apprenticeships and potentially some employees and mums and dads and all sorts. So that would be a great event.
There's loads of bookings on that as well, so looking forward to seeing lots of parents visit, just hear about next steps for their son, daughter onto an apprenticeship route. We've also got employers coming and the apprentices this morning, so I'm just aligning those guys to speak about how they got into an apprenticeship, how they're doing in work, so yeah, really good.
I think the pleasing thing for me, especially leading up to this week, is speaking to so many apprentices about how they're getting on and how their kind of lives have changed. I know you've had a few where they've started an apprenticeship and now they're kind of running their own business, aren't they? So I think for me, obviously I've only been here for 6 months, as you know, and I've just been kind of blown away by how much an apprenticeship can benefit someone. You get people in that perhaps haven't done as well as they would like to school for whatever reason, and they come to an apprenticeship and it gives them a chance to earn and learn, as the famous saying, and it gives them a platform to go and really develop a career whilst learning as well. So it's pleasing to be able to help those people get to where they want to be. It's been great.
You say changing careers, actually getting started in a career, progressing what you want to go into, earning and learning, another key part. It is a tricky balance though, because you've got to earn, you've got to learn, you've got to work, you've got to manage your home life. So actually it's a difficult route to go down, but the benefits are really there. I mean, there are some statistics banded around, but normally around £100,000 more earnings across the piece. So yeah.
What about employers then? What do they kind of benefit out of that? I know obviously they're taking on, they're doing their bit for the local community, taking on a young person, but what else do they get then?
Employers, I mean, it's really difficult to recruit people at the moment with similar national shortages across all industries looking to recruit people into, and the only way that they can really, I suppose, rubber stamp their future in the next 3 to 5 years is actually growing their own. So growing their own apprentices into the company, got your skilled industry individuals. The good thing as well is apprenticeship apprentices bring great new ideas. So something they test the boundaries of companies, they test processes, they test, well, why are you doing it this way? Have you thought about doing it this way? They also bring new technology ideas. So great things for business to be involved in.
How has the last 24 months been with COVID and apprenticeships? It kind of feels to me as if it's starting to pick up a little bit. And more companies are looking to go down this avenue, which is great, but what was it like at the very start of it all?
Yeah, I mean, it was day 1 to day 2, and then day 2 is, well, everything's got to be remote learning or distance learning, and we've got a lot of people in healthcare roles, supporting roles with the NHS and public services, so actually they were still frontline, but their training took a back seat, so we had to put a couple of people on breaks in learning, but actually the majority of people stayed with it, stuck with it, continued to learn. And what we have next week is actually the Apprenticeship Awards. So on the Friday of next week we've highlighted an apprentice from each of the occupational areas, and we're presenting them with an award for being the best from their programme tutor. So that'll be really exciting and great to reward people for endeavours and their hard work.
And talk about West Suffolk College now, and obviously National Apprenticeship Week. All right, I'm thinking we've got nationwide students and people that have been able to learn. Is that remotely done, I presume?
That's correct, yeah. So delivery from Cornwall to Manchester, across to Newcastle, Nottingham, down the other side. And the way in which we deliver programs or deliver training, if we can get that right, then actually, we can go out to that further afield market. And a lot of NHS we're dealing with, a lot of hospitals. We're signing people up for science manufacturing technician qualifications where they're producing and making drugs to administer within hospitals. So it's exciting careers as well. But in terms of our numbers, we've got over 1,750 apprentices in learning, working with over 950 employers, large and small. So things are continuing to take off. You said about the COVID recovery, and it has been. And I think hopefully we'll see more. The interest, as we said, for next week is great. So let's crack on and do some more in 2022.
Brilliant. And those those science ones that you mentioned, obviously COVID being COVID and the pandemic, these students are being able to kind of create new drugs and medicines for kind of a better tomorrow, I presume. And the uptake up, and I've had a little bit of involvement in science myself, but that's been brilliant, hasn't it, really? And am I right in thinking that West Suffolk College is is it the only college that does a specific thing in science? Is that right?
We're one of only, I think there's only 2 providers that offer this pathway.
So, talking to students now based here at West Suffolk College, and I've got a few campuses, what does their normal week look like for them? Is 1 day a week in college and the rest with the employer?
Yeah, it's a mixture actually. The traditional routes, so construction, engineering, hairdressing, etc., they generally come 1 day a week to learn their practical skill and some theory on top. And then the others, that could be all remote delivery, or it could be blended, so they could come 1 day a month for a workshop or have a remote workshop. But all of the time they're supported by a program tutor that speaks to them on a one-to-one basis every 6 weeks roughly, just so they've got targets to meet, they've got look at the work they've done, making sure they're still on track to achieve what they need to achieve and making good progress. And of course it's great to get feedback from the employer. We do calls to employers and say, okay, what has your apprentice learned in the last 6 weeks or the last half a year? And they can list off a load of jobs they're now doing independently, or skills they've learned, which is all about what apprenticeships are about.
Absolutely, and from the employer's point of view with the program tutors, they'll also speak to the program tutors every 6 weeks to make sure the work they're doing in college aligns up with them, and it's a kind of structured approach to the end goal, which of course is the endpoint assessment and getting what a vocation, isn't it?
That's it. And with endpoint assessment, really important, getting people ready. That's it. Make it go. It's getting ready for an exam or a question or an interview. That's what the endpoint assessment is all about. And we spend a lot of time getting students ready to go through and achieve. That's the most important thing is to achieve. Question for you: What employer has stood out the most for you, or what learner has stood out the most for you in your 6 months?
I've had a few. I think probably employers wise is probably Flagship. 6 or 7 learners that they've had all going to property maintenance. So I think the biggest thing with them was when I went to go and meet the boys and girls on there was how hard working they already were. The programme seemed to be good their side as in the employer side and then with us. So getting the paperwork back from them and kind of working with them was brilliant. And from what I hear now, only 4 or 5 months in, they're kind of all flying. There's been no dropouts or anything like that. But learner-wise, I wouldn't want to pinpoint one. There's been a few.
It's great.
What about you?
Well, you say Flagship. Actually, Flagship is supportive to the parents even. So hoping to have some of those apprentices come and talk, but also more from Flagship when we talk about the employer phase. So we've done a really big project with Flagship in terms that they've sponsored our full-time program. We've tried to get on and get them supported through work experience. So Flagship have come in and done some talks and supported with that work experience, but also provided loads of PPE. They've got kit bags and coat and everything else, and that's really set the students up to progress, whether that is with Flagship through the apprenticeship program, because I think 8 of the 16 went through that or into Flagship, which is great. The other 8 though have continued into full-time employment or into other apprenticeships, so absolutely perfect model of pre-employment, pre-apprenticeship, then progress into. So yeah, Flagship for me certainly stood out.
Yeah.
Really good employer, really supportive, and county-wide now, so East England actually.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me as well, being here for a short amount of time, is that there was a little bit of stigma attached to apprenticeships that they were just people coming in and making a tea. That couldn't be further from the truth, could it?
Not at all. It's totally the opposite now. It's there's a structured career route for them. There's obviously a training wage, but that it's a sort of still a stigma of a training wage, but actually the employer's paying a lot more than that training wage. You're advertising really good rates of pay. Certainly they look then to progress people.
National Apprenticeship Week here at West Suffolk College is upon us. Week commencing the 7th of February. Join us here for all sorts of fun events for you to become more knowledgeable on apprenticeships and what they offer.
We've got lots of exciting events happening this week. We'd love to see you and pass on information for your next apprentice or anybody that's interested in becoming an apprentice. See you all soon.